Hey, hello and welcome to EMM English Master Mahato. I'm Ajay Kumar Mahato, and from this day onwards, we are going to read this wonderful tragedy written by William Shakespeare, the tragedy of Julius Caesar. This is in your ICSE Class 10 English syllabus. In Class 9, we are going to read the first and second acts, and in Class 10 you have Act 3, Act 4 and Act 5. The discussions and reading from this YouTube channel will help you to understand the important points and remember important incidents from this play, right? So let's go ahead. The play is divided into 5 acts like a typical Shakespearean play, right? And for its themes, it has friendship, it has betrayal, love, statesmanship, politics, valor, but the most important theme is the tussle between republicanism or democracy and monarchy. So let's take a look at the dramatis personae or the characters involved in this tragedy. Julius Caesar, who gives this tragedy its title, he is titular protagonist of the play. Octavius Caesar, Marcus Antonius, Aemilius Lepidus, these are the trio, the triumvirate that come to prominence, that they come to power after the fall of Julius Caesar. Antony, Octavius and Lepidus. Cicero, Publius, Populus, Lena, they are the senators. Marcus Brutus is the chief conspirator and the friend of Julius Caesar, is the best friend. Marcus Brutus and Julius Caesar are the best of friends, but he later on joins the group of the conspirators. Cassius is the second most important conspirator. Casca, Trebonius, Ligarius, Decius Brutus, Metellus Cimber, Cinna, Flavius and Merulus, the tribunes. Artemidorus, a soothsayer. Cinna, a poet, another poet. Then we have Lucilius, Titinius, Messala, young Cato and Volumnius. They are friends to Brutus and Cassius. Varro, Clitus, Claudius, Strato, Lucius, Dardanius, servants to Brutus. Pindarus is the servant to Cassius. Calphurnia, wife to Caesar. Portia, wife to Brutus. Do not confuse these two names, Calphurnia and Portia. How you will remember? C for Calphurnia and C for Caesar. And Portia is Brutus's wife. Then you have the host of Caesar, senators, citizens, soldiers, commoners, messengers and servants. For its location or the scene, the 3 chief places are Rome, the various parts of Rome, the conspirators' camp near Sardis, and the plains of Philippi. Right? Here is Act 3. Scene 1. Rome, before the capital, the Senate sitting. A crowd of people in the street leading to the capital. Flourish. Enter Caesar, Brutus, Cassius, Casca, Decius, Metellus, Trebonius, Cinna, Antony, Lepidus, Artemidorus, Publius, Popilius, and the soothsayer. Caesar says, "The Ides of March are come." Soothsayer, Caesar, but not gone. Remember, the Ides of March are the 15th of March. The soothsayer had warned Caesar in a letter to be careful, to be protective of his life. He had warned that there is threat to Caesar's life. There is danger. So Caesar sees this soothsayer and reminds him of his warnings That he says, the Ides of March are come, but you see, I am well. No harm is done to me. Soothsayer says, Caesar, it has come indeed, the Ides of March, but it is not yet gone, right? But not gone. Artemidorus, hail Caesar, read this schedule. Decius. Artemidorus is one other person who is a well-wisher of Caesar. He has written something in his note trying to make Caesar aware of the danger that is imminent, really. And he says, read this schedule. Decius says, Trebonius doth desire you to overread at your best leisure this his humble suit. Artemidorus, O Caesar, read mine first, for mine's a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar. So Artemidorus just anyhow desperately tries to seek the attention of Caesar, and he says, before reading Trebonius's suit, please read mine suit first. Caesar says, what touches us ourselves shall be last served. So something that is of our personal interest, something that concerns us individually, must be looked at last. First priority is others, the general public. Artemidorus says, delay not, Caesar, read it instantly. So he is persisting. Delay not, Caesar, read it instantly. Caesar says, what is the fellow mad? Publius, Sirrah, give place. So now the conspirators, among them Publius is also one, they try to throw Artemidorus out of Caesar's sight as soon as possible. Cassius, what urge you your petitions in the street? Come to the Capitol. Do not hand over your petitions to Caesar in the street in this manner. Come to the Capitol and then place your suit there. Caesar enters the Capitol, the rest following. All the senators rise. Populus, I wish your enterprise today may thrive. So Populus says to Cassius, I wish your enterprise today may thrive. Cassius says, what enterprise, Populus? Populus, fare you well. So Populus gives a hint that perhaps he knew about the conspirators' conspiracy and plan to murder Caesar. So Cassius is quite, he suspects that probably Populus has some clue to their plans. But Populus does not reveal anything, he just says, fare you well, advances to Caesar. Brutus, what said Populus Lena? Cassius, he wished today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered. So Cassius is frightfully saying, probably he has discovered our enterprise, this conspiracy. Brutus, look how he makes to Caesar. Mark him. Just observe what he does, right? Keep him under observation. Cassius says, Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Important to note here, Casca will be the first person to strike at Caesar. This is according to their plan. So Cassius tells Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself. Whatever happens, we are not going to withdraw from this plan. Brutus says, Cassius, be constant. Populus Lena speaks not of our purposes. He does not have any idea about our plan, about our conspiracy. For look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change. He is speaking to Caesar in a friendly manner, right? And Caesar too is unchanged in his mood. Cassius says, Trebonius knows his time. For look you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way. So Trebonius was given the task of moving Antony away from that place so that he does not become a hindrance, an obstacle in their plan to murder Caesar. Exeunt Antony and Trebonius. Caesar and the senators take their seats. Decius. Where is Metellus Simba? Let him go, and presently prefer a suit to Caesar. Brutus. He is addressed. Press near and second him. So follow him. Cinna. Casca, you are the first that rears your hand. Cinna also reminds Casca that Casca is the man who is supposed to raise his hand first at Caesar. Caesar, are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress? So, what is wrong that Caesar and his Senate must redress, must set right? Is there anything left to be done? Is there anything, any mistakes that we need to make amends? Metellus. Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, most powerful Caesar, Metellus Simba throws before thy seat an humble heart. Caesar. So Metellus pleads to Caesar. Caesar says, I must prevent thee, Simba. These crouchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. Right? Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words. So it says, sweet words, low crooked courtesies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar does not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied. So Metellus presents a suit to Caesar about his brother, right? And he pleads to Caesar so that he makes a favor, he does a favor to him. But Caesar says that he is not going to change his mind just because of this expression of raw emotions and submission nature of Metellus, right? He does not give in, he does not change to such sweet words, low crooked courtesies, and base spaniel fawning. He says, thy brother by decree is banished. By decree means by law, he is banished from this place. And if thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur. Cur is a dog, out of my way. So if you keep persisting, requesting, falling down on the floor, begging for favor, then I'm going to kick you out just like a dog. No, Caesar does not wrong. You should know it that Caesar does not do any wrong to anyone. Nor without cause will he be satisfied, nor without any genuine reason he will change his mind. He is not going to change his mind. Metellus, is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother? So Metellus now urges the other people to come to his aid, to speak on behalf of him so that Caesar changes his mind and repeals the order of banishment of Metellus' brother. Brutus, I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Simba may have an immediate freedom of repeal. So, the brother of Metellus is Publius Simba, and Brutus, Caesar's best friend, also supports Metellus and says that I'm not trying to flatter you, but I'm just requesting you to pass an order that Publius Simba may be immediately ordered, immediately pardoned. His order of banishment must be repealed or taken back. Caesar, what Brutus? Cassius, pardon Caesar, Caesar pardon, as long as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Simba. Enfranchisement is liberty, freedom. So even Cassius now supports Metellus and Brutus, and he says that I beg of you enfranchisement for Publius Simba, freedom. I beg freedom for Publius Simba. Caesar says, I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. So Caesar says that if I could be well moved if I were as you, I could be well moved if I were as you. So Caesar says, if I were Cassius, then probably I would have changed my mind. If I could pray to move, if I can request and beg somebody, then I will also have to, prayers would move me, means when other people would pray and beg, request to me for a favor, I would have to yield, I would have to listen to them. But I am constant, right, as the northern star. Northern star is the pole star, a star which never changes its position. It stays only in one place always. That is the northern star or the pole star. So Caesar compares himself with the northern star and says, I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. There is nobody else, there is no human being who is as constant as Caesar, just like there is no other star which is as constant as the northern star. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and everyone doth shine, but there is but one in all doth hold his place. So there are many stars, countless stars in the sky, but there is only one star, the northern star, that truly holds his place, does not change, does not waver. So in the world it is furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive, yet in the number I do know but one, that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he, and that I am he. So that human being who is constant, just like the northern star, is me. Let me a little show it, even in this, let me prove this, even in this, that I was constant, Simba should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so. So I was firm in my decision to banish Metellus Simba and to banish Publius Simba, and I hold on to that stance. I stay constant to that decision. Cinna says, O Caesar, hence wilt thou lift up Olympus? Olympus is the mountain, the home of the Greek gods, right? He says, wilt thou lift up Olympus? Why are you raising such a hue and cry about this issue? Let it get over. Decius, great Caesar, doth not Brutus bootless kneel? When Decius was about to speak, Caesar says to Decius that, did you not see that Brutus also begged without any outcome, right? I turned down even his proposal, his request. So why are you now asking the same question? Casca says, speak hands for me. Casca, now he was invested with the task of attacking, launching the first attack. So he raises his hand, lifts his dagger to attack. Casca stabs Caesar in the neck. Caesar catches hold of his arm. He is then stabbed by several other conspirators and at last by Marcus Brutus. Caesar, et tu, Brute, then fall Caesar. Et tu, Brute. When Caesar saw that here is his dearest friend Brutus is also among the conspirators and he also has stabbed him, he is heartbroken. He gives up all his resistance, right? He is prepared to die. He is heartbroken. Then falls Caesar. He embraces, accepts death, dies. The senators and people retire in confusion. Cinna, liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. So Cinna celebrates liberty and freedom. He says, tyranny is dead, Caesar is dead. Run hence, proclaim, cry it about the streets, Cassius. Some to the common pulpits and cry out, liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement, Brutus. People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not, do not run here and there. Stand still. Ambition's debt is paid. Ambitions. Whose ambitions? Caesar's ambition. What ambition? To become the king. That was a bad ambition of Caesar, and he has paid for his ambition. He has paid it with his death. Casca. Go to the pulpit, Brutus. Decius. And Cassius too. Brutus says, where's Publius? They were all seeking Publius's return from banishment. So Brutus says, where's Publius? Cinna, here, quite confounded with this mutiny. So he is quite confused. Confounded means confused with all this chaos. Metellus, stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar's should chance. Right? Just stay close, close knit, lest some friend of Caesar's should chance. Some friend of Caesar may take revenge. Right? Brutus, talk not of standing. Publius, good cheer, celebrate. Why are you just standing? There is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Publius. So there is no harm intended now. Now the biggest harm, Caesar, is dead. So there is no harm to anybody now in Rome. Everybody is free. Everybody will be happy. Cassius, and leave us, Publius, lest that the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief. It means that Publius was probably an aged person, a slightly elderly person. So Cassius says, leave us, go to a safe place where this crowd, the surging crowd, the chaos will not do your old age, any mischief, so that you are not hurt in this confusion. Brutus says, do so, and let no man abide this deed, but we the doers. Let no man bear the consequences of this event except the conspirators. Enter Trebonius. Cassius, where's Antony? Trebonius fled to his house amazed. So Antony has fled to his house amazed, shocked, distracted, confused. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday. So people, the common public, could not understand how to react. Right? They saw assassination in broad daylight. It's a violent assassination, right? So they are distracted, they are shocked, right? And they cry out, they run in panic, some they stare, and the scene was as if it were doomsday. It's the end of the world. Brutus, fates, we will know your pleasures, that we shall die, we know. It is but the time and drawing days out that men stand upon. He is saying that death is certain, we know. It is but the time and drawing days out that men stand upon. It is the time and the living those days that really matter, and how we live our life, the span of life that we have, how we spend it, how we live it, that is what matters. It's not the length of time. Casca, why? He that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death. Casca says, we have done Caesar a favor by cutting off 20 years of life. He would have lived 20 years more, and in that 20 years he would have suffered many agonies, pain, and by killing Caesar off, we have done him a favor, right? Brutus, grant that, and then is death a benefit? So are we Caesar's friends that have abridged his time of fearing death? right? So we have cut short his suffering. He would have suffered long had he lived for another 20 years till the natural death of Caesar. So we have really, just like friends, we have helped Caesar. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood. You can imagine how ghastly this image could be. Caesar's blood is all around flowing, right? Spilled on the floor, and the conspirators, and none other than Brutus, Caesar's dearest friend, he says to the conspirators, let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood, up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons over our heads, let's all cry, peace, freedom, and liberty. Cassius. Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, in states unborn and accents yet unknown? So Cassius says this is a historical moment, and this will be remembered forever and ever. We have done Rome a great favor by killing Caesar, and in the years to come, ages and ages later, people will thank us, will remember this lofty scene, this great scene. All right. Brutus, how many times shall Caesar bleed in sport, that now on Pompey's basis lies along, no worthier than the dust? So, as long as people will remember, it will be acted over, the same scene will be acted and performed on stage. That is what it means to say, how many times shall Caesar bleed in sport, right? That now on Pompey's basis, right, where the statue of Pompey is, at the base of Pompey's statue lies Caesar, right, stabbed to death with blood gushing out of his body. No worthier than the dust, Cassius. So oft as that shall be, so often shall the knot of us be called, the group of us will be called the men that gave their country liberty. So whenever this brave act of us will be acted over, will be performed on stage, people will thank us, and they will call us heroes, and they will say that we were the men that gave their country liberty. The coming generations will thank the conspirators. Decius. What shall be forth? What shall be forth? Cassius. Every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels. We will follow him. With the most boldest and best hearts of Rome, enter a servant. Brutus. Soft, who comes here? A friend of Antony's. Servant. Thus Brutus did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, thus he bade me say. So this servant is a messenger of Antony. He has sent this servant on his behalf, right? He says that Mark Antony has asked me to thus bend before you, speak to you in a humble tone. He says, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say, I love Brutus and I honor him. Say, I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe, if Brutus will promise that Antony may safely come to him and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death. Through the servant, Antony sends Brutus the word that he would like to know how Caesar deserved to lie in death, how he deserved to die, what prompted the conspirators to kill him. Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living. So if he is satisfied with the reason that the conspirators had, then Mark Antony would take the side of the conspirators, and he would not love Caesar so much, the dead Caesar so much as the living Brutus, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus through the hazards of this untrod state with all true faith. So says my master Antony. So these are the words of Antony sent through the servant. Brutus says, thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him, come unto this place, he shall be satisfied, and by my honor depart untouched. So Brutus sends words, his promise through the servant that that he may safely come to this place and he would not be harmed by the conspirators, and that he also says that he calls Antony wise and valiant Roman. Servant, I will fetch him presently. Yes, I will bring him here very soon. Brutus says, I know that we shall have him well to friend. Brutus is confident that we will win him in our team. Cassius says, I wish we may, but yet have I a mind that fears him much, and my misgiving still falls shrewdly to the purpose. So Cassius is hesitant. He thinks that probably Antony may prove to be can prove to be a tough proposition for them, cause them some trouble. Enter Antony. Brutus. But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony. Antony. O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must we let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death's hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no means of death, as here by Caesar and by you cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age. So Antony is here and he bewails, he laments Caesar's death, the tragic sight. He sets eyes on Caesar's dead body for the first time and he expresses his grief. He says, are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure, little piece of earth that on which his Caesar lay dead? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. He now addresses the conspirators and he says that I don't know what your intentions are. Who else must be let blood? Who else must be killed, right, in your thoughts, according to your plans? If I myself, there is no hours of it. If I am the next target, then there is no time better than this present hour as Caesar's death's hour, because this is Caesar's death's hour. Caesar has died, the great Caesar has died, nor no instrument of half that worth, as those your swords. So your swords, which still has Caesar's blood running through them, those are the most appropriate weapons to kill me, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world, the blood of Caesar. I do beseech ye, do I request you, if you bear me hard, if you do not like me, now whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, purpled hands because their hands have been bathed in the blood of Caesar. It says, when they reek and smoke, when Caesar's blood is fresh in their hands, fulfill your pleasure, satisfy your wish of killing me. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. Even if I live for 1,000 years, I will not find an appropriate time or place to die. No place will please me so, no means of death, as here by Caesar and by you cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age. So you are the choice of the age, the master spirits, the heroes of this age, and to be assassinated and killed by you would be my biggest good luck. Brutus says, "O Antony, beg not your death of us, though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands and this our present act. You see we do, yet see you but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not, they are pitiful." So he says, do not beg your death of us, though we appear most bloody and cruel because of this act that we have done of killing Caesar, the blood that we have in our hands, right? That indicate that we are villains, right? But you see only our bodies, you do not see our hearts. Our heart is are pitiful, it is remorseful. We are not very happy with what we have done. We have not done this assassination happily. We were compelled to do this, right? And pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity, pity. Here, Brutus means to say that he was full of pity towards the people of Rome for the general wrong that was being done to the people by the prospect of Caesar becoming king, right? So that pity for the people of Rome has driven out his pity for Caesar, just as fire. For your part, to you our swords have leaden points. To you our swords have lost their sharpness, right? We are ready to accept you as a friend. That is what Brutus means to say here. Mark Antony, our arms in strength of malice and our hearts of brother's temper do receive you in with all kind of love, good thoughts and reverence. So we are prepared to accept you as our friend. Cassius says, your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities. Brutus, only be patient till we have appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver you the cause why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded. So, only have patience till we have pacified the crowd, and then I will explain everything why I, the dearest friend of Caesar, stabbed him, killed him. Antony, I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First Marcus Brutus will I shake with you. So he shakes hands with the conspirators. Next Caius Cassius, do I take your hand? Now Decius Brutus, yours. Now yours Metellus, yours Cinna, and my valiant Casca, yours. Though last, not least in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me. Either a coward or a flatterer. So my position is such that either you may take me for a coward or a flatterer. Coward that, because if I object, protest, then you may kill me. And probably a flatterer trying to win their support, sympathy and favor, right? That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, it's true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death? To see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble in the presence of thy corse. Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, right? Weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. So he's saying, I wish I had as many eyes as your body has wounds, and I would weep and shed tears for you, right? As much as the wounds from your body is spilling blood, In the same manner, I wish I had eyes, that many number of eyes, with equal amount of tears flowing out of it. It would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies, right? It would be better than to make friendship with your enemies. Pardon me, Julius, here wast thou bade, brave heart. Here didst thou fall, and here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil, and crimsoned in thy lead. O world, thou wast the forest to this hart. Hart is a male deer. It says the hunters, the conspirators are like hunters who have killed this hart, this brave hart, which is Julius Caesar. And this indeed, O world, the heart of thee, how like a deer strucken by many princes dost thou here lie. So that is the same Cassius. Mark Antony. Pardon me, Caius Cassius, the enemies of Caesar shall say this, then in a friend it is cold modesty. I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we own and not depend on you? So in what terms are you willing to join us? Are you going to be on friendly terms with us, or are you, should we move on and not depend on you? Antony, therefore I shook your hands, because I intend to be your friends, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. I was just, distracted for a while, because just by looking at Caesar's body. Friends, am I with you all and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous. You must satisfy me with ample reason to assure me that Caesar was indeed dangerous, Brutus. Or else were this a savage spectacle? Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied. Our reasons are so good reasons we have got to kill Caesar, and that when we reveal those reasons, you will be fully satisfied. Even if you were the son of Caesar, you would be satisfied. Antony, that's all I seek, and am moreover suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace,